Ashwaq and the Wedding of the Djinn. In a small village at the foot of the Atlas Mountains, lived a young woman named Ashwaq. Her beauty was renowned, her long dark hair glistened like night, and her eyes shone like stars, capturing the attention of all who saw her. Many said she was so beautiful that even the hidden creatures, the Djinn, had taken notice. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ashwaq decided to wander to the edge of the forest, a place where few dared to go after dark. As she moved between the towering trees, she heard faint music, a melody that was enchanting yet strange, pulling her deeper into the woods. Just then, a voice called out from the shadows. "Ashwaq, come join us. We are celebrating tonight. You're invited to a grand wedding." Ashwaq looked around, but saw no one. Her curiosity won over her caution, and she followed the voice. She soon found herself at a grand clearing. A stunning gathering was before her, lit by ethereal lights that hung in the air like floating candles. Strange, elegant figures danced to music that seemed to come from nowhere. The guests were otherworldly, their forms shifting, sometimes appearing human, then melting into shadows and mist. One tall, handsome figure with piercing, luminous eyes approached her. "Welcome, Ashwaq," he said, his voice soft but powerful. "We have been waiting for you. Tonight, you are the bride." Ashwaq's heart skipped a beat. "Bride? I don't understand. I thought I was only a guest here." He took her hand gently. "You are more than a guest, Ashwaq. You were chosen. From the day you were born, you belonged to us, to me." His smile was charming, but there was a gleam in his eyes that sent shivers down her spine. Ashwaq tried to pull her hand away. "No, I cannot stay here. This is not my world." The Djinn's grip tightened, his eyes darkening. "Once you enter our realm, Ashwaq, there is no leaving. You are bound to me, just as I am bound to you." She felt trapped, her heart pounding, and remembered the advice her grandmother had once given her about encounters with the unseen: always carry the words of protection in your heart. Muttering under her breath, she began to recite verses from the Quran, her voice trembling but steady. "In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate." The Djinn flinched, his face twisted with anger. "Ashwaq, stop this. You do not know the consequences." But she continued, her voice growing stronger. The air around her seemed to thicken, and the lights began to flicker. The other guests, once lively and dancing, now stood frozen, watching her with dark, gleaming eyes. Ashwaq stepped back, pulling her hand free. She continued reciting, her voice unwavering. The Djinn's form began to fade, his grip loosening. With a final scream, he disappeared, leaving only a trail of mist where he had stood. Suddenly, she found herself alone in the silent forest, as if the gathering had never existed. The enchanting lights, the strange music, and the guests, all had vanished. She took a deep breath, realizing she had escaped a fate darker than she had ever imagined. From that night on, Ashwaq never ventured near the forest again. And the villagers whispered of her encounter, telling of her bravery and the power of faith against the mysterious forces that dwell just beyond human sight.